And we're live. All right. Welcome, Jodi.
Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to be here at the Red Bra Project. This is so wonderful.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited to have you, and welcome to all of our viewers for episode 3 of the Red Bra Project live stream on YouTube. And tonight is a super extra special night because we are highlighting our first guest. So with us tonight, we have Jodi McMaster. Yay! And Shauna won't be making it with us tonight. She is actually trying to get home from Philadelphia, which many of you living up in the area, I'm so sorry you're dealing with all the weather and snow. So she is safely on her way home. So the show must go on. So Here we are. Thanks again, Jodi, for taking the time out and jumping on live with us.
You're welcome. This is so exciting.
I know you've had a big
YouTube channel.
I know, right? Who knew? All this technology. This is incredible. I'm in Florida. You're in.
I know. It's so fun.
Yes. So before we jump into, it's so cool what you're doing, this interactive learning and reading strategy that we all want to hear about. Yeah. Tell us a little bit just about who you are and where you're from and stuff.
Okay. So my name is Jodi McMaster. I am a first grade teacher. I am also the mom of 2 little boys. I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. I live in Michigan. I'm originally from Ohio. Yeah. And so total Buckeye fan, go Bucks. So when I first started teaching first grade, I was really struggling to get kids to understand the vowels and the words. So I created a reading strategy that that gives a child the ability to know when they look at a word exactly which vowel is going to make which sound. So that's
okay. That is incredible. So I'm going to back up just a little bit.
Okay.
How long? So you said you teach first grade, right?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been a teacher?
I've been teaching for 15 years. I taught kindergarten for 2 years, and then I've taught first grade for the past 13 years. So
that is amazing.
I think it's the most rewarding grade ever to teach because they come in barely knowing the letters of the alphabet and their sounds, and they leave reading chapter books. Like, what could make you feel better? You know, what could be more gratifying than knowing that you taught those kids how to read, you know? So
such an awesome just transition you get to see and be a part of. And love our teachers. Thank you so much for all of the hard work that you do too, because that's just, I mean, I can tell you really love what you do. So that goes a long way.
I do. I do. I love it.
With the kids struggling with reading. So about how long ago or how many years was it into teaching that you discovered that this is something that needed a little more attention? And did you try to reach out to anybody for help, or how did that process go?
I did. I realized it pretty early on. I would say like my first couple of years into teaching. And so I created this reading strategy that really started to work. And then I started like printing out letters of the alphabet and having kids wear them, like putting a little piece of string around it and having kids wear them and act out.
Like vests? So like letter people vests?
Yeah, just like a little like piece of paper with like a string, and then they fall apart and they break, and it was a little bit crazy. But then I started thinking they loved them so much that I was like, oh my gosh. So every phonics activity, every phonics lesson I did, I'd put the vest on these kids and we'd act out these different phonics lessons. And they were like, oh, phonics is fun. I think probably one of the only classrooms in, you know, the United States that my kids are like, can we do phonics, please? Can we do phonics lessons? You know, because they're just so fun. We put out, and I created these vests that the kids wear. They're uppercase on one side and lowercase on the other side. And the vowels are red, and then the consonants are blue. So when they make words, they can see the difference between the vowel and the consonants. And the kids love it. They get down, they put them, or they get up, they put them on. They get to act out the different strategies. So it just makes learning fun. And to answer your question, who did I reach out to? After I wrote my first book, I reached out to anybody that would listen to me and said, hey, how do you do that?
Wrote a book prior to creating this?
Right. So I also have written a book. It's called Circus Vowels, the long and the short of it. And it basically gives readers like a little trick. So when they look at a word, they'll know exactly which vowel is going to make which sound in the word. So,
okay. For example, if say I was a 6-year-old little Renee trying to learn how to read, how would you teach me? Take me through the
So
process.
in this book, all the vowels are brothers and sisters because I wanted to make it really relatable to the children. So,
Yeah.
and then the consonants are moms and dads. Boom. That's family. It's automatically relatable. And I tell them when the vowels, they all go to the circus. And when there's just one vowel in a word, it says a short, quiet vowel sound. You have the word like, oh, sorry. So you have the word, you have pen, easy peasy. You got one vowel in the word. If you have two vowels in the word, this is when trouble starts to brew. The second vowel always pinches the first vowel, and the first vowel yells its name. So this one yells, E, and this one doesn't say anything because he doesn't want to get in trouble. And I say to my students, do you ever pinch your brother or sister really hard? And when they yell, you do this. And I say, yeah. And you say with the circus vowels, kids. So they're relatable. Then we put our vests on, and we get up, and we act it out. And then I say, does your mom ever get really mad at you at the pinching? And they say, yeah. And I say with the circus vowels, Mom, she gets really mad too. So she sits between them. That does not solve the problem because the second vowel can still reach around the first vowel. The first vowel yells its name. So this one's going to yell A, and this one doesn't say anything because he doesn't want to get in trouble. So again, we put on our little letter vests and we go and we act it out. Now, we don't want there to be anybody harmed in the pinching of the vowels. So we talk about when we do a squeeze, not like a really hard pinch because we don't want anybody to get in trouble. And then I say, does your dad ever get really mad at you with the pinching? And they say, yes. And I say, well, same with the circus vowels, Dad. He gets really mad too. So he sits between them. And that actually solves the problem because the second vowel kid cannot reach around the mom and the dad and pinch the first vowel kid. So everybody goes back to saying their short, quiet vowel sounds. You have plastic. So a child, when they look at a word, they just look at the vowels and the consonants. They see where they're at in the word, and they'll know which vowel makes which sound within the word. So,
brilliant. So it's a full-on interactive learning strategy where they're involved, they're learning, and it's relatable.
Yes, it's interactive. So, and studies show that if you put children in the lesson, they're going to be able to remember it. They remember 90% of what they're involved in. So they're more likely to remember it if you put letter vests on them, have them act it out, make them part of the lesson. So, and teach it to somebody else. So if I have so many kids where after teaching this, go home and teach it to their little brother or sister. And that is the part that where they really learn is if they can teach it to somebody else. So
that is incredible. So how long did it take you to kind of develop and do this? What's your journey been like?
It's been long. It's been really long. I started probably about 7 years ago when I decided I was going to write the book. I had a lot of teachers and a lot of parents emailing me and asking me how I taught this. A lot of friends who had kids, and they were like, I have no idea how to teach my kid how to read. And I was like, well, all right, well, I'm going to write a book and I'll give it to all of you, and then you won't have to worry or struggle anymore. So I had a first book written, and then I also present at conferences, reading conferences for teachers. And I was approached by someone and said, hey, listen, this book is great, but the graphics are like it was pastel-y colors, and we need something a little bit more that's gonna like jump off the shelf. The colors need to be a little more vibrant, a little bit more lively. So he redid my book and my whole kit, and now I love it. Now I love the colors and it pops more. So yeah, so it's been about a good 8 years, probably.
That's awesome. I mean, and you didn't give up. You didn't throw in the towel. You didn't quit. You kept going. I mean, what kind of fueled your fire? What inspired you? I'm sure there were days that were a little over the top. So how did you deal with all that?
Yeah, there are still days where it's so over the top, but I have really good women in my life. I've got my mother who inspires me every day. She pushes me to do great things, proofreads everything that I send in or I send out. She's just my rock. She really, really, helps me out in any way that I need it. I have great female entrepreneurs that we do meetups. We put one person in the hot seat. We ask them a bunch of questions and we give them advice. Next person gets in the hot seat and we give them advice, and they tell us about their struggles. And as women, we get together and we chat about how can we make your company better. But we do it as a women entrepreneurial group. And it makes it's nice. It's nice just to have a group of women to sit down and bounce off of and talk to. And we're all
often. I'm gonna just jump in really quick. How often do you guys get together for support, or how does it work?
It varies. It's not, maybe maybe we'll do like 2 months in a row and then not again for another 6 months, so it definitely varies. It's like, when can you get a bunch of women and moms together?
Especially with crazy schedule of life.
Oh yeah, kids and work and parents and just social lives.
But just having that support as you're going through this journey, and they're going through their own entrepreneurial journey, and I mean that says a lot.
Yeah, I definitely working together and finding good people that you can trust, that you can count on, that know they have your best interests at heart is definitely huge. Definitely huge.
Yeah.
Kind of like your guys' Red Raw project. You guys are, working together, and you know what each other's wants are and your needs and your envision, your vision.
Yeah. If you don't try, you'll never know. So
exactly. So it's good.
So what's one piece of advice that you would give somebody who is starting off, and maybe they're 2 years in or 3 years in and they want to throw in the towel and walk away? What is one thing looking back that maybe you have learned now that you would tell them?
I would definitely say don't quit, because there are days when I just want to throw in the towel and say, I can't do this. I have a full-time job. I have 2 little kids. I have a husband. And now this is what I do as my nighttime job. I do this from like 11 or 8 to 11, 8 to midnight every night. So some days I'm like, I'm just too tired. I can't do this anymore. I just want to give up. But I just can't give up. You have to keep going and just keep persevering. I talk to my students all the time about the word persevere. You have to persevere. You have to persevere. They get stuck on a math problem. Persevere. How are you going to do it? Teaching them not to give up. So I kind of, sometimes when I'm just too tired and don't feel like doing things, I just have to remember, what would I tell my students? Okay, I have to persevere through this. And then, you do. And then you're so proud of yourself the next day.
Right. Absolutely. How do you, I know that you have done some incredible things, and you've been on media and you have given speeches, you've written a book. You have done incredible things. So how do you push through the fear? What do you do when you're, up against fear and you're like, I really don't want to do this? How do you get through it?
You just have to suck it up and do it. I've learned to just suck it up. For example, I just launched a Kickstarter on Wednesday, and I listened to so many podcasts, and every podcast said people bail out right before they launch because of fear. And I didn't get it until the week before, and I was petrified. And I was like, who am I? I can't launch a Kickstarter. No, who's going to want to, back me, and who thinks that my project is as special as I do and is going to want to back me. I just had the fear and my anxiety and a huge pit in my stomach. And I just thought, I just have to do it. I just have to do it. I just have to do it. And I understood what those people meant when they backed out at the very last minute, because it's so fearful. And then in the first week, I'm trying to raise $20,000 to get these kits created and to get them in Title I schools, and to get books in the hands of children in need, and kits in classrooms, in schools. And in the first 5 days, I raised $10,000. So I thought of my $20,000 that I'm asking for, I'm trying to back. So I just thought, oh my gosh. Okay. And I'm still fearful. It's that my campaign has 25 days left, and I still have this like pit in my stomach. I'm still so nervous. My anxiety is still really high over it. But had I not done it, I wouldn't be at least this far. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm not there yet.
I literally have goosebumps talking to you, because if you would have let the fear stop you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It just wouldn't have happened. And you've worked all of this time leading up to that. The thing is everybody feels that. It's crazy. That is amazing.
Yeah, it definitely is. But you just can't let fear drive your thoughts. You just have to just think, I'm stronger than this. I'm better than this. I can do this. And I think a lot of times it's like, oh, but who am I? Can I do something like this? Like, it's so much self-doubt, and you kind of have to just push the self-doubt to a side and just say, of course I can do this. I worked way too hard not to do this, So
absolutely.
Yeah.
You have a goal and a mission and a passion to fuel that mission. That's amazing.
Right. Same with the Red Raw Project. You guys have, a goal and a mission. You know what you want to do. You want to empower women. You want to make them feel good. And look where you're at. You've started it. The logo is fantastic. You put all this hard work and time into it. So
We
Bravo.
are excited to have you as a thank you. We are so excited to have you as our first guest. And this is one of many stories and journeys that we are going to be able to bring to our platform that hopefully inspire and touch another person and just kind of create that beautiful ripple effect. So
yeah, I love it.
Real quick question for you, Jodi. I have one more, and then I guess we'll wrap it up here. We're closing in on our time. But so we'd like to think of, the red bra sometimes as our superhero cape. So what is one time that you had to literally like just bust out that superhero cape, that red bra, and just push through? What's an example of that you can share with us?
Well, definitely launching the Kickstarter was a huge one. But also I think in my daily life, I feel like teaching children how to read is such a tremendous opportunity. And I feel like every time I have a child, just for example, I have a little boy this year who's just really, really, really struggling. And every time he gets it, every time he gets to the next reading level, I just feel like, oh, we did it. We did it. Like the work pays off. And so I definitely feel like just in my daily life, teaching children how to read is just, it's such a huge passion of mine. And I just absolutely love doing it. So I feel like daily I get to put that cape on and really, teach kids how to read and be part of their educational journey. That's a pretty good feeling.
So huge. So can anybody buy this this strategy? How does that work?
So what parents would probably more so want the book, because all you have to do is read this book to your child one time and they're instantly going to understand how the vowels work in the word. The kit that I have, it looks like this. This is this is the kit that has 32 letter vests. It has the book. It's got posters and stuff in it that you can hang around your classroom. It's got over 20 different phonics ideas. A word list has over 240 words. I know I put my vest on my students and then I think, oh man, what's a word? I can't think of one. So I did the legwork. I've got words. That would be more for a teacher. So yeah, and you can get them right now on the Kickstarter. If you go to Kickstarter.com and you search Circus Vowels Empowering Beginning and Struggling Readers, you can get them there for a discount. You can also get autographed books there. So that's great. I'm also offering personalized.
It's a strategy that can go in classrooms and individually, that parents can teach their kids one-on-one. So it's something that parents can actually learn and teach their children.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the best part is the parent. That's why I originally first wrote the book, because my friends that were parents were like, Jodi, I don't even know how to teach my kid how to read. I'm like, I got you covered. I got you. I'll help you out. I'm going to write this book. Just read it to your kid. You're good. So, and parents love it. I get so many emails just saying, thank you. I had no idea. And a lot of parents say, hey, I learned something. I had no idea that's how the vowel strategy worked. So I'm also.
Okay. How long, though, does it take?
I read it to my son who's 7. I read it to him when he had just turned 5. Read to him one time. And I gave him a slate and started writing out words, and he was instantly reading them. It's crazy. It's that visual clue in their head that once they get it, it's like, oh, it makes sense, Yeah,
absolutely.
Getting that visual clue is huge.
I love it. For me, I can relate to that because I'm such a visual learner. So, we usually close out the show with a couple quotes here at the Red Bra Project.
Yeah, I love it.
Before we do that, I have one perfect that I think you're going to love. And then I know you have one for us too.
Okay,
so good. Before we do that, I want to tell all of our viewers, if you want to learn more about Jodi McMaster and the Circus Vowels, come and follow us on Instagram. Join the party over there at the Red Bra Project. And we have Jodi's picture up there. We're going to go ahead and put the link down there. We'll also post all of the websites tomorrow, or you can go to the redbraproject.com website, and we'll make sure to put all the info up there as well. So we don't want you guys to miss out. If you've liked what you heard tonight, or you think of somebody that could benefit from hearing this, please feel free to share this video. Give us a thumbs up, give us some love, and come and hang out with us in the upcoming weeks. So Jodi, it's been such a pleasure to have you. And so the quote that I wanted to share with you tonight is from Benjamin Franklin. Okay. Tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I'll learn.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that's perfect. All right. So I was in one of my women's groups, and there's an author friend of mine. Her name is Maria Desmondi. She writes very good children's book about being kind and about kindness. And she gave me this one time, and it said, if you can read it, it says, "What if I fall? Oh, darling, but what if you fly?" And I always think that is just like when I hang this in my office, and I always feel like, when I want to give up, or I'm like, oh, I'm going to fall, or it's not going to work out. And I always think, but what if not? What if I fly? What if it's awesome? You know? So I love this quote. Gets me through a lot of rough nights.
Yes, absolutely. And we all need something to help us get through and push through that fear. So
yeah, persevere.
All right, girl. It was so great to have you on. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This is such a wonderful experience, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. We are going to keep up with you. You bet. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.